Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desh Tarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धूनेव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome dear devotees to this wonderful session of Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is one of the essence of all the Vedic literatures, and it's spoken by the Supreme Lord himself, his divine instructions to Arjuna when he was really very perplexed. So last time we completed shloka number 4 and 5. Today we are on to shloka number 6. So you all can maybe unmute yourselves and you all can repeat after me. Na chait vidat vidmaha kataranna giryo. You all are able to unmute yourselves? Or I did not.
Mataji, screen is not shared, Mataji.
Okay. I'll just share the screen. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for not sharing the screen. Okay, yeah. Na chaitad vidmaha kataranna giryo.
Na chaita vidmaha kataram na griyo jariyo.
Yatva jayema yadiva no jayeyu.
Yatva jayema yadivano jayaho.
Yaneva hatva na jijivishama.
Yaneva hatva na jijivishama.
Te avasthita pramukhe dharta rashtra.
Te avastitaha pramukhe dhritarashtaha.
Na chetad vidmaha kataranna gariyo.
Na chaita vidmaha kataram na gariyo.
Yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuha.
Yitva jayema yitiva no jayo.
Yaneva hatva na jijivishama.
Yaneva hatva na jijivasmas.
Te avasthita pramukhe dharta rashtra.
Te avastitaha pramukhe dhritarashtaha.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Translation. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So now if you see over here, in this, let me just read the translation. Arjuna did not know whether he should fight and risk unnecessary violence, although fighting is the duty of the Kshatriyas, and whether he should refrain and live by begging. If he did not conquer the enemy, begging would be his only means of sustenance. Nor was there certainty of victory, because either side might emerge victorious. Even if victory awaited them and their cause was justified, still if the sons of Dhritarashtra died in the battle, it would be very difficult to live in their absence. Under the circumstances, that would be another kind of defeat for them. All these considerations by Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee of the Lord, but he was also highly enlightened and had complete control over his mind and senses. His desire to live by begging, although he was born in the royal household, is another sign of detachment. He was truly virtuous, as these qualities combined with his faith in the words of instruction of Sri Krishna, his spiritual master, indicate. It is concluded that Arjuna was quite fit for liberation. Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge. And without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. Arjuna was competent in all these attributes over and above his enormous attributes in his material relationships. So, now if you see in this particular what do you say scenario, Arjuna is saying that why should I just go ahead and fight? I don't want to go ahead and fight. I want to just be what do you say, I want to actually just show compassion to my relatives. It is better to live by begging than to fight with my own brothers as such. So Krishna now is actually condemning him. If you see now the next shloka also, it's going to actually tell that how he is now surrendering. So when somebody is perplexed, somebody is confused, then what should he be doing? What exactly should be the point of contact for him, or who should he approach? That what is the right way, and whom should I approach? So sometimes people are very perplexed, but they, just perplexed, and they do not take shelter of anybody, and they become more perplexed, they become more confused, they become more agitated. So Arjuna's first argument that was there, that he does not want to this in that he had compassion for all the living entities. So that compassion is refuted in this particular shloka. He's saying that Arjuna's condition is illustrating that he's very selfless. He's illustrating that if I am selfish consciousness, or if my consciousness is very selfish, then there'll be two things in this. There will be if I'm selfish, then I'll be frustrated. And then if I'm selfish, then I'll have the inability to even reach to sound conclusions. So that's why if I become selfless, then I will not be frustrated. I will have the ability to reach to sound conclusions. So in this particular shloka, if you see that what are his virtuous qualities, that he's a great devotee of the Lord, he's highly enlightened, he's completely in control of his mind and senses, he is completely detached, and he has strong faith in the instructions of the Supreme Lord. So all these qualities, if a particular person has, he is quite fit for liberation. So the qualities for liberation, what Prabhupada is writing in this purport, is that a person should be have complete control over his senses. He should be knowledgeable, and he should have devotion. Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation, to the platform of knowledge. And without knowledge and devotion, then there is no chance for liberation. So, though Arjuna is very much perplexed or confused, but he is yet eager for enlightenment. And that's why in the next sloka, if you see, he will surrender to Lord Krishna. The next sloka is very, very important, that how he will surrender to the Supreme Lord, how he will, uh, give up his, whatever concoctions that he had in his mind. He's going to completely give up that, and he's going to completely surrender, because uh, uh, if you see, though he's a Kshatriya, but now initially they were having some friendly talks, but now he will be completely surrendering to the Supreme Lord. So on this side, there are, the Pandavas are there and the Kauravas are there. They are two groups of, cousin brothers. And Maharaj Pandu had 5 sons and Dhritarashtra had 100. So both are of the same family, but the same family, but it was an understanding between them that when somebody went beyond the family, then they would come to attack them, and they would all become like 105, like not only 5 and 100 and 100, but they would become 105 and they would fight. But when there is a fight amongst themselves, so on one side there are 100 brothers and on other side there are only five brothers, but because a Kshatriya is, to be understood that they must go on fighting. So even if even if it is their marriage, then they have to go on fighting. Without fighting, there is no marriage that takes place in the Kshatriya family. So even Krishna had 16,108 wives. And every time, Krishna, got married, first he fought and then he got married and he had to fight. So now Arjuna, whether he is perplexed over here that whether I should fight, or whether fighting is encouraged or not. So out of his perplexity, then if you see that when there is a declaration of a particular war, then all these modern politicians also, they also consider. So like in the Second World War, if you see, when Hitler was actually preparing for the war, and everyone knew that Hitler was going to retaliate, because the first war they were defeated. So Hitler was again preparing. So the Germans in 1933, they came to India also. So at that time also, he informed that there must be war, and Hitler is preparing for heavy preparation for the war. So but one of the prime ministers, he came up and he said that no, you should stop war. But Hitler was not stopping that war. So similarly, here also there is some fight going on, and Krishna did try to avoid this war also. He proposed to Duryodhana that, okay, you're Kshatriyas, you're cousin brothers, you have usurped their kingdom, no problem, but you have taken everything away. And as a Kshatriya cannot live by begging bowls. So they must be given some means of livelihood. So Duryodhana told that, please give me some Krishna said that, please give these 5 brothers some 5 villages. Out of your whole, world empire that you had, you just give them 5 villages. But Duryodhana said, no, that here I will not even give that much land, which is equal to the tip of a needle also. So under such circumstances, then there must be fight, because initially they tried to avoid the war, they tried to avoid fighting, but because Duryodhana was not ready to listen, then there must be fight. So there is no question of Arjuna's considering whether he should fight or not fight. It is actually sanctioned by Krishna, and therefore he should fight. Just like when somebody might ask that why these wars should take place, but if you see around us, there is everywhere there is fighting going on. It's not very difficult, because this is the very nature of a person, that he has this fighting spirit. Children have this fighting spirit, or cats and dogs have this fighting spirit, birds have this fighting spirit. So even human beings have this fighting spirit. So this is one of the symptom of a living entity, that he has this natural tendency of fighting. So so the question might be that when should fighting take place then? Of course, right now, actually, in this case, like if you see, India, Pakistan, there is continuously all the time there is war going on, but fighting should be according to Vedic civilization. Fighting means dharma yuddha, based on religious principles, not by whims of any, political ideas or some isms or something like that. Because currently, there are two political groups. There is one communist group and then is the capital group. They are also trying to avoid only, fight, but there is fighting going on. So America is in, some field, and Russia is also there, and there is India also there, Pakistan is also there. So as soon as there is fight between, some countries and America is involved, and immediately Russia will come from there, and Russia will fight against America. So these people are keeping on attacking. So fighting cannot stop. So many people, they are thinking how to stop this war, but that is really not possible. It is very impossible, because fighting spirit is there in everyone, and that is the symptom of a living entity. So even small children also, who have no enmity, 5-10 minutes they will fight and they'll become friends again. So this fighting should be utilized in the service of Krishna. And that is why the Krishna conscious movement is there. And Srila Prabhupada says it is consciousness. He did not say that, okay, stop fighting. Krishna is not saying stop fighting. Or he's not saying that do this, do that, and don't do that. But everything should be done for Krishna's service. So thing should be done in Krishna consciousness. Nirbande Krishna Sambande. So whatever we are doing, we must have some relationship, and with that relationship there should be satisfaction of Krishna. And if Krishna is satisfied, then we should act. That is Krishna consciousness. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it said, Krishnendriya Tripti Vancha Tara Nama Prema. This is love. Just like when we love somebody, we are ready to do anything for the sake of that particular person, and we can do anything. And similarly, that only love should be transferred to Krishna. That's it. So we have to try to educate ourselves to love Krishna and act only for Krishna. And this will be perfection of life. Where in the Bhagavatam, the second chapter, it says, Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma Yato Bhakti Radokshaje. So bhakti means only seva. The synonym of bhakti is only service or seva. So bhaja sevayam. So when you say that bhaja sevayam, but bhaja means who? Bhakti means for whom? Bhakti means to satisfy Krishna. Bhakti cannot be applied to anybody else. If somebody says that I am a devotee of, goddess Kali, but that is not bhakti. That is just doing business with Mother Kali. So because whenever anybody is doing any worship of the demigod, there is some purpose behind that. And generally, people actually take to the worship of the demigods or the worship of Mother Kali is only for meat eating. That is only their purpose. So in the Vedic culture, those who are eating meat, they have been advised that don't eat meat purchased from the slaughterhouse or from the market. But the current system is such that everywhere, if you see, all over the world, there is only slaughterhouse, and this is the latest invention of Kali. Previously, people used to never have any slaughterhouses. So even if you see in the Christians, then when we inquire that Jesus Christ said that thou shall not kill, then why are the Christians killing? Then they give a counter answer that Christ also ate meat sometimes. So sometimes Christ ate meat. Maybe that time you were not present when Christ ate meat, Maybe there might be some, difficulty, and there might be no food. So in a greater necessity, when there is nothing available, other than, other than food, then meat is allowed. But, they try to actually copy Christ. So, and that is why they're saying that, when Christ ate meat. So, but did Christ say that you maintain big, big slaughterhouses and go on eating meat? Christ does not say it. There is no commandment as such in the Bible that Christ directly said that please, you all can eat meat. So, Kali Yuga is actually increasing so much, and gradually, if you see in Kali Yuga, these food grains will be reduced. And in the Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto, if you read, that Kali Yuga will go to such an extent that there will be no food grains at all, no milk, no sugar, no wheat, no rice, and one has to only eat meat. That will be the condition. And sometimes people will have to even eat human flesh. And recently in Japan, I was saying that they had on a plate, they had served the fetus of a mother for somebody else, eating a dead fetus. So, so much of sinful life, is degrading, and so much they become more and more sinful. So, about in the Bhagavad Gita is saying that tam aham adishta kurun kshipavi ashram andhe yonishu. All the demons, those who are so much of sinful, because if you see the 16th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, is primarily explaining about the divine people and the demonic people. The divine people are always selfish people. They will only think about themselves. Whereas the demonic people will be selfish and they will only think about themselves. But the divine people, they will be always selfless and they will always think about others. They will be more compassionate. So, those who are demons and those who are very sinful, the nature's law is that the nature will place them in such a condition that the demon will become more and more demonic, and he will be never be able to understand who God is. That is nature's law. Now, if somebody wants to forget Krishna, then Krishna will put him in such a condition that he will never be able to understand who Krishna is, who God is, and that is demonic life. Forgetting Krishna is only a big demonic life. So that time also slowly, as Kali Yuga is progressing, is coming also. And so only very few people are interested in God. Artho arthati jigyasu jnani. But the time is coming that there will be no sense to understand even God, because Kali Yuga, one of the symptoms, mand sumand mato bhagyo, mand buddhi hone wali hai. So the last stage where, the Kalki Avtara is coming, Kalki Avtara will come, and, at that time, there will be no preaching of Krishna consciousness. There will be simply killing. Kalki, with his sword will simply massacre, keep on slashing the heads of the demonic people. And then again Satyuga will come, and then the golden age will come. So this problem of fighting, we have to understand that this fighting spirit is there with everybody. We cannot stop people from fighting. But the Mayavadi philosophers, they will say that, we should stop this and we should stop that, but that is not possible. We cannot stop. And because the living entities, that is the propensity of a living entity, and that is why we cannot stop fighting. But yes, this fighting can be utilized properly. So because we have this fighting spirit, we have to utilize in Krishna's service. Like in the Prema Bhakti Chandrika, it said that Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. Those who are envious of the Supreme Lord or his devotees, then that time you can utilize the anger upon them. Then that time anger cannot be given up. So then Prabhupada is saying that we should utilize this anger in Krishna consciousness. Everything can be utilized in Krishna consciousness. But then Mayavadis will say that no, you should stop this and you should not do this. But Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is saying that, what is the shloka? 9.27. Bhagavad Gita is saying, Yat karosi, yat juhosi, yat asnasi tapasi, kurushva tad mad arpanam. So, yat karosi, he's saying that whatever you are doing this, whatever you do, but that result should be offered to the Supreme Lord. Whatever you are eating, whatever you are doing, you do it as an offering to me. So, Arjuna over here, Krishna is saying that you don't have to fight for yourself. Krishna is saying you fight for me only. You don't think in terms of yourself. You think in terms of me. Okay, he's saying that in this shloka, he's saying that avasthita pramukhe dhartarashtra yaneva hatvana jivishvams. He's saying that Arjuna is saying that they are my brothers, they are my relatives. If they die, what will happen? I don't wish that they should die. And now they are in front of me and I have to kill them. So now Arjuna is still thinking in terms of his own satisfaction. So he is actually preparing this background that how a materialistic person, is thinking in terms of his own personal sense gratification or personal satisfaction. Now, this mentality of personal sense gratification or satisfaction should be given up. And not that, and this only, thing should be utilized for Krishna's satisfaction. That will be Krishna consciousness. So when you're thinking in terms of myself, I and mine, then that is not Krishna consciousness. But when you're thinking that I want to satisfy Krishna, then that is Krishna consciousness. So then whatever you do, it really does not matter. You have to first test whether you're doing it for Krishna or you're doing it for yourself. Then that will be perfection. This perfection will be, this perfection is that it is the mission of human life. The mission of human life is only to satisfy Krishna. That is the mission of human life. So, but because because those who are less than human form or those who are in the animal species, they are trained only in that way. They're trained for perfection of sense gratification, personal satisfaction. They do not have, they have no such feeling, or their intelligence is not so much developed. Like an animal, if you see, whenever there is some eatable, one dog, he will think, how can I get it? And he will never think that, okay, let the other also dogs be able to take it. No, the animal nature is only such that the animal nature means only for his own satisfaction. And there is no question of, okay, he's my other dog friend, let me give him this, or this is my own, baby puppy. So even if you see the dogs also, the dog is giving birth to some 10, 12 puppies, but after that 2, 3 puppies, he will eat immediately. But in the humans, this does not happen. So even these animals, they do not, share with their own children also. So if there is some food stuff, the dog, and the dog's children, everyone is trying to take it on its own side. So when this thing or this attitude which is changed for Krishna, then that is actually human life. Human life means your distinction between, human life and animal life. And animal life is for own satisfaction. Human life is for satisfaction of Krishna. So, this whole Bhagavad Gita, actually, Krishna, that this whole education that Krishna is giving in the Bhagavad Gita, that it's teaching, how to teach people to act for Krishna, to act for God consciousness and not for any personal interest. So otherwise, then if you're acting for your own personal sense gratification, then you will be entangled, Krishna is saying, right? So he's saying that in the 3rd chapter, he says that Yagnartha karma anyatra karma yam bandhana. Anything you do, it will produce some reaction. Or reaction means either you enjoy or you suffer. So, but if you do it for Krishna, then there will be no reaction. Then there will be only freedom. So yoga karma kaushalam, in the Bhagavad Gita, it's saying the second chapter, the next, I think that is the 2.50 number shloka is saying that yoga means what? When you are in contact with Krishna, then that will be real yoga. And that is only the secret of success in the material world, that you are working for Krishna. Otherwise, you will just keep on doing some karma activities. You will have some reactions, and from those reactions, either you enjoy or either you will suffer, and again go into that cycle of perplexity. And so Arjuna over here again is perplexed that which side will be glorious. I shall stop fighting or not fighting. And then when he is in perplexity, then he's thinking, what should I do? What should I not do? And in order to get the right direction, then now he's approaching actually Krishna, the spiritual master. So whenever somebody is in perplexity, the principle is that you approach the spiritual master. And Arjuna will say also that I do not know, I'm very perplexed, I do not know what my duty is. My duty is to fight as a Kshatriya, but I'm still hesitating. And I'm hesitating in my duty. And because I'm hesitating in my duty, I'm very, very perplexed. I'm very, very confused. So Krishna, please, I'm submitting to you. You please, please guide me. So formally he was, talking just like a friend, but now he will be prepared to take lessons from Krishna. He'll be prepared to take instructions from Krishna. So the whole instruction of the Bhagavad Gita is that we should not act for our own selves. We should simply act for Krishna. So even fighting for Krishna or doing some small, things, or even doing something still abominable for Krishna, like for example, gopis. The gopis were so much captivated by Krishna. Krishna was a very young boy. He was very handsome looking, very beautiful, and the gopis were very young. So that is superficial. But actually, if you see the gopis are eternal servants or associates of Krishna. In the Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji is saying that Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavi Tabhis. So these gopis are expansions of Krishna. They are the pleasure potency of Krishna. So Krishna's pleasure potency expansion, the Halladini Shakti. They are meant for Krishna's pleasure. So they are not ordinary, women. But, superficially, they just wanted to teach us how to love Krishna and risking also anything in life. So these gopis, they were attracted by, Krishna, so much attracted that even at midnight when Krishna used to play on his flute, they were attracted, and they used to run in whatever condition they were there. They used to leave home and they used to run towards him. Even if some of them, they were locked up by their husbands, they gave up their life, but they were so much, attracted to Krishna. And now, if now this kind of behavior, the young girls, like according to Vedic civilization, the girl cannot go out of the protection of either the father, husband, brother, or the son, especially at midnight. So this thing was against the Vedic principle. So basically it was like an open kind of like prostitution, that midnight you're going to meet some other person other than your husband. But because this act was done for Krishna, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that there is no better type of worship than it was conceived by these Braja Gopis. The most abominable though, but for a young child to leave the care of this father or something. So still, because Krishna, is the center, it is accepted as the highest type of worship. That is called Krishna conscious. They were completely in consciousness of Krishna. So now, not that, we also start running midnight, to the temples, or we also start running midnight to the, programs and all, not like that. But, we're just trying to give an example that this is the highest type of worship. So we have to learn how to act only for Krishna and how to love only Krishna. Then the life will be successful. Otherwise, the life will be a big failure for us. Human life is given to only revive our lost relationship with Krishna. And because we have come down from, Vaikuntha some millions and millions of years ago, Anadi karma phale. Anadi means even before creation, we are eternal, and even the creation is annihilated after millions and trillions of years. These living entities are not annihilated because the nature of the soul is na hanyate hanyam mane sharire. So the living entities they remain. So when this whole cosmic manifestation will be annihilated, the living entities will remain in the body of Vishnu, and then again whenever there is another creation that will take place, then they will come out again and they'll again fulfill their desires. So what should be the real desire? The false desire is to fulfill your own sense gratification, but what is the real desire? The real desire is how to go home back to Godhead. So this chance is given. So if this chance is missed, then this human form of life, again we'll have to accept, another 84 lakh species of the cycle of birth and death. And not only that, if we do not fulfill this human form of life or the mission of this life, then again there will be annihilation of the whole creation, and again we'll have to stay, within the body of Vishnu for millions and trillions of years, and again we'll have to come. So this is called anadi karma phale. So anadi means even before creation. So this befooling of the living entities is going on, and that is why Krishna personally comes over here. Krishna is very eager or anxious to take the living entities back home, back to Godhead. And why is he so much eager to take us back home, back to Godhead? Because we are part and parcel of Krishna. So suppose if somebody's son, he's wandering in the streets, and he's not very anxious. So there may be some accident, and then that poor child might be killed also. But somebody's trying to find out his own child, then he will be saved at least. Similarly, we are also children of Krishna. Krishna is also coming here to find us, and Krishna is also like that person who is trying to find his child who is lost in this material world. And we are in this material world, and we are simply suffering life after life. This material world is only made of dukhalama shashvatam, such a miserable place. And Maya's illusion is that we are taking this miserable condition of life as happiness. We're thinking, oh, we are very happy. But that is illusion, because there is no happiness in this material world. Everything is miserable over here. The sooner people will understand this, that everything is miserable in this material world, the sooner people will be prepared to leave themselves, this material world, and go back home, back to Godhead. So this is our actually, should be our aim. Otherwise, whatever, people are doing, they will simply be defeated. So people will miss the aim of life. So in the 7th canto, there is a shloka, just let me remember, okay, in the meantime. The shloka is there. Nate vidu sarvatha gatim na Vishnum. Durashaya. So we are hoping against hope, which will never be fulfilled. Hoping against hope means what? We are thinking that I am very happy, I will be happy, I was happy, I am happy, and I will be happy. And we try to adjust things to become happy. But we're trying to adjust things to become happy without Krishna consciousness. And that is where we are failing. And that is why we are not being successful. So this material world is never going to give any happiness to us. Durashaya. Durashaya means, Asha means hope. Dur means that hope which will never be fulfilled. Durashaya. So all the materialistic people, what are they're doing? They are just increasing the material activities. And they are thinking that by increasing these material activities, I will be very happy. But that is not happy. Durashaya. They are into a false hope which will never be fulfilled. And all the leaders also, that are the politicians and everybody who are there, they are also like, leading people. Andha yatha andher. Andha yatha andher means blind leading the blind. Okay. So, people are, all the living entities are tied very tight. Hands and legs are tied up. And people are thinking we are free, we are independent. We are independent by the natures of the laws of nature or the material nature. And we're thinking, oh, I'm very independent. But the scientists, they are trying to avoid God, independent by science, which is not possible. Because under the grip of material nature means she's the agent of Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita only that Maya Dakshena Prakriti Surisa Characharam. Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunakarmani Sarvasha. Under my only, surveillance, the whole material nature is working. And Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunakarmani Sarvasha. So Prakriti also is working under my direction only. The material nature is working under my direction. So people are always in perplexity like Arjuna. What to do, what not to do. But if they take this principle that we should do it for, we should do whatever we have to do it for Krishna. And if we take directions from Krishna, take the direction from the representatives of Krishna, and then if we do it, then there is no karma bandhana. Then it will be karma nirdahati kintu bhakti bhajam. It will be, like you won't be able, you will not incur any reaction to it. Otherwise, people will be just bound by the reaction. Either they will enjoy or they will suffer. And nobody can get out of this. So this perplexity of Arjuna, whether I should fight, whether I should not fight, so, there is one saying which says that Kama Krishna, what is it? Kama Krishna Karma Arpane. So whatever work you are doing, you offer it. Karma Arpane. Offer that work to Krishna. Like, Lord Hanuman. Lord Hanuman, he fought for Lord Ram. He did not fight for himself. Similarly, Arjuna also has this flag, of Kapi Dhwaja. His flag is marked with Hanuman. He knew that. So Hanuman is, big fighter. He fought with Ravana. But he fought with Ravana not for his own personal interest. The interest was, how to get Mother Sita out of the hands of Ravana and kill the whole family and get out and let her sit down and, let us sit next to Lord Ramachandra. So this policy of Hanuman, we should also adopt. And the Ravana policy, like, see, what was Hanuman policy? Hanuman policy is that he took Mother Sita towards Ram. Okay, taking the living entities towards the Supreme Lord. But what did Ravana do? Ravana took away Sita from the clutches of Rama to enjoy. And that is Rama policy. Hanuman policy is that take Sita from the hands of Ravana and get her seated next to Lord Ram. So the same Sita. Sita means actually Mother Lakshmi. Lakshmi means she is the property of Narayana. She's God's property. So even, we should learn from this that, all the materialistic people, they are Ravanas, they want to enjoy God's property. Some way or the other, they want to, enjoy. Of course, we cannot fight with these Ravana's classmen, but we are not so strong also. But, Srila Prabhupada says, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that they have taken up the policy of becoming a beggar, international beggar. That, oh, you are such a very nice person. Please give some donation to the temple. Give us something, because you are spoiling your life by keeping God's property. You will go to hell. So that is how devotees are, engaging Krishna's property in the service of Krishna from the other members of the society. So if a particular person becomes the member of the Krishna's family, then he'll be saved. And we all are trying to engage Krishna's property into Krishna's service only. And that's how we will become, Krishna conscious, in a way that whatever I have or whatever I get, I offer it to Krishna, utilize it in Krishna's service. I will selflessly think about, Krishna, and not be selfish and just think about myself. Like, so I give rest to my speech over here after saying so much. So if you'll have any queries, questions, you're free to ask me. Any query? Any questions? Yeah, Bindu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, I can very much hear you.
Mataji, when you're coming to the slaughtering houses, that all, basically, suppose the reason where I stay, that is Telangana, Hyderabad, there is a tradition that we have to do bali. I don't know what you say in Hindi.
Yeah.
Some of the customs we have to offer the animal, like goat or cattle to the. So recently many times I've stopped also, but they are not listening. They says that it is our custom, we have to do it because it here a female bride that is mostly worshipped in Telangana. So for that we have to offer, because it is not followed from our generations. Somewhere it is coming. Especially if you say we do Bonalu in the month of Ashadam, definitely lot of animals will be killed and they were slaughtered. So they said that when I asked them, they said that in Telugu that see God only gave what we say pulu I mean that fruits and leaf vegetables along with this also God only had given them. So what's wrong in that? Like that they argue. They offered animals like that. So how to convince them?
Yeah. So actually, such people cannot be convinced because they have their own ideologies, they have their own this. But what you can do is you can just give them prasadam. What happens now when you give them prasadam? Prasadam keeps on purifying their, this mentality that is there, and it will slowly purify the consciousness also. And you just have to be very favorable and good relations with them, because these people, till the time they don't come to know that today if I'm killing a goat, in the next birth I will have to become a goat, and I also will be killed in the same way. Till the time they do not understand, this cycle, then till that time it is very difficult to tell them. And what happens is, you are one over here and they are many over there, so the majority is theirs, and that is why they will never, be able to listen to you. And how much ever shastric, what do you say, proofs you will give, or shastric counter, you will give answers, you will give to them, they will not listen. So in such case, you just give them prasadam and that's it. Like, you cannot do anything with these people. It's very difficult to deal with them, because I know this part of Telangana that they have this, big balis that they give, and they enjoy, and, and, what happened is actually, it's not according to even, Vedic, this scriptures also, that okay, if the goat is cut, then there has to be something, in return also. If the goat is being cut, then something else also has to be there with that. But they're not following those rules and regulations. And after that also, in front of Mother Kali only, they're drinking liquor also. Where is
Yeah,
it
they
said?
offer.
Yeah, where is it said? So everything is for a particular person's own self-interest, own sense gratification. So then such people cannot be, told anything, because till the time people don't leave these propensities, then it is very difficult to tell them. But yeah, as I told, that give them prasadam, ask them to visit the temple, give them some Hare Krishna Maha Mantra stickers, or make them chant in some way or the other. Or if you have a house program at your place, you can invite them and feed them samshas prasadam. Ask them to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra how much possible. Okay, Bindu Mataji?
Yes, because there are Muslims who slaughter. This means something, their tradition, they accept it. So the for them we cannot change the Muslim mind.
Yeah, even in that, in their also scriptures also know where it is said that, you have to slaughter animals. In the whole of that, scriptures of them, know where it is said that you have to slaughter. I have read the whole Quran and know where in the Quran it is written that you can slaughter animals. Because one of
Yes,
my
ma'am.
neighbors, she was a Muslim. And so these Muslims, they have their own schools and they go read. And, even, they used to read in front of us also. So I have read that whole Quran. And then even I used to question them, but they didn't have any answer to that. Like, so that's how
So,
you can't tell these people anything.
yeah, yes. Even one more pain if a person dies on the, I mean, on Friday, if a lady go Thursday, they and again sacrifice animal along with the dead tie. That is
Mm,
more painful. I don't know where they got learned or where it is said. I
yeah.
don't know. Animal also they'll send along with that person, live animal.
Yes, yes, yes.
Very painful. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Ma'am, Mataji, I believe that is only the beginning of Kali Yuga. Matlab,
Yes, 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 yes. Sejal Mataji,
like starting from animals and then going to what you said as per now, human flesh and all these things is going to happen
yeah,
another couple of years. Right? We don't know when it is going to happen.
yeah, yes, yes.
So there won't be any stoppage unless a God is reborn. Again, he has to take a birth.
Yeah, yeah, Kalki Avatar, straight away,
Kalki avatar.
slashing the heads of all these demonic people.
Because nowadays even Hindus are eating. That's the heights of it. They
Yeah,
believe in Krishna. Jain people I have seen they are eating flesh,
yes,
meat, chicken,
yes, yes, yes. Otherwise, Jains are very cutter. They don't even eat onion garlic. What to speak
onions,
of
and all.
eating flesh and all these things.
They easy. We are staying abroad. We don't have much of Indian food, so we whatever we get. But they have easy escape for everything.
So there are devotees in Russia. Okay, in Russia, if you know, is such a country where there is 9 months only snow, 3 months hardly you will get to see. But even in those times, also the Russian devotees over there who are staying in Russia, they will die, but they will not eat meat. They will die, but they will not drink liquor. They're following those four regulative principles with strict determination. They are not eating even onion garlic over there. What to speak of eating meat? They're not even eating
Yes,
onion
ma'am.
garlic over
Yes,
there. And that is why you see there so much of devotion is there, because see, Russia is such a country now. Russia is a country where they are trained in military discipline. Every fifth person in the country is like, disciplined in military training. So there's so much discipline that once if they will adopt something, they will stick around to it and they will not give it up. So we have somewhere around 5 to 7 lakh devotees in only Russia. Like when they come for this Mayapur Yatra in the month of February, March, oh God, there is one full Russian group only. And that Russian groups is in like lakhs. The organizers have such difficulty organizing that yatra for 15 days. And the whole, temple hall is filled. And when we see them, and see, these are those people, when we're doing parikramas, I'll tell you, this is my, pratyaksha, I can say, what I've seen with my eyes, I will tell you all. We used to wake up at, because when you're doing parikrama, you get tired. From morning 6 o'clock, you're walking, and that yatra halts at 4 o'clock in the evening. So, of course, at 4 o'clock, nobody's going to start sleeping. But these Russian devotees, they used to sleep by 8:30. And 2 o'clock, they used to wake up and they used to start chanting. Firstly, they used to have a bath, because the bathing also was a little, in an open area. So wherever you halt your tent over there, then there is a big, that syntax ka tank, and it has many, many taps. So they will first get up and they will have a bath. By 2:30, besides our tent, we can hear the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So dedicated they are. So means, I was so much inspired by them, that these people have got some, khazana, and they're valuing this Hare Krishna Mahamantra so much, so much. And very focused with their goal. No, I want to only worship Krishna, I will not this. And properly they will worship, and properly they will hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra very, very carefully, and they will, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra so much. So, इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं ना कि पानी में तो नाव कोई भी चला लेगा, रेत में नाव चला के दिखाइए. So the Russians, the Americans, even America, if you see, such a country where, it has got so much of snow all around the year. So wahan pe bhi also people are, sailing, in the desert. So, and we Indians, if you see in India, especially in Pune, the atmosphere is so wonderful throughout the year, so wonderful throughout the year. Neither too hot, nor too cold, nor too rainy, nor too dry. And it's so nice over here. And still, we fail to take up seriously to Krishna consciousness. And at least I'm talking about myself, that taking up devotional life very seriously. But means I really salute to the Russians with their devotion, and what dedication they have, and I still know. I remember one time that there was this Russian Mataji, very old. Okay, she must be in her 60s. Okay, to just come for one Mayapur yatra, she sold her house over there in Russia. She sold her house, and with that money, she came for this Mayapur yatra. And then now she has no money to go back. Or even if she goes over there, she doesn't have a house to stay. Then she was speaking to my spiritual master, and then my spiritual master made arrangements for her to go over there. And after that also, the devotees gave her some more money for, getting a rented apartment, and then gave her some more livelihood as such. So there is a lot of cooperation also amongst the devotees over there, like, in Russia.
That's what I believe. Krishna devotion. Surrender everything to him, and he'll give you back whatever you need that particular time. He's always there with us.
But in this case, no, I was thinking that we should not be fanatic. हमें fanatic नहीं करना होना है. We should know how to balance spiritual life and material life.
But as you said, ma'am, Mataji, as you said, she was too old enough. So she thought that this is the only chance I have. I can't wait for a couple of more years to.
More years, yes. But we at the young age cannot be very fanatic. Why? Because we have a family, we have, many other responsibilities also. We cannot just give up everything and go out of the house. We need to balance. For example, even if I wanted to go for that particular yatra, I can go for maybe 2, 3, 4 days. Maybe I can just take 2, 3 days good association and come back. Maybe 5 days good association and come back. And then we felt very satisfied, taking that association, and battery charge करके आ सकते हैं हम लोग, Mayapur, Vrindavan, wherever you feel like, wherever you want to go, like,
That's what I feel, Mataji. We don't know what is the exact time to leave everything and surrender. Still, we are within our own life. कि भाई बच्चे हैं, husband है, family है, we can't leave everything and move away.
So the definition of surrender क्या है मैं आपको अभी बताती हूँ. Surrender has 6 aspects. Okay. What is favorable, you accept that. What is unfavorable, you reject that. Favorable means what? Chanting is favorable, I'll accept that. Okay.
Yes.
Taking prasadam, I'm accepting that. That is favorable. Okay. Then what is not favorable then? Liquor is not favorable. Onion garlic is not favorable. Meat is not favorable. Illicit sex is not favorable. Gambling is not favorable. I'll reject that. Right. Then anukulya sa sankalpa pratikulya cha virjanam. Then he's saying that whatever is favorable, what is unfavorable, and at the same time I have to be meek and humble also. At the same time being humble also, क्योंकि arrogant person surrender नहीं करेगा. जिसके पास ego है, he will not surrender. So then what? Then I have to be meek and humble also. And then he is saying that I should have firm faith that Krishna is my protector. Krishna is my, well-wisher. And like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had a very firm faith that yes, Krishna is only my protector. So this firm faith is also surrender only. Like I'll post, somebody just remind me, 6 factors of, surrender. ये बहुत अच्छा एक आर्टिकल है मेरे पास. तो सरेंडर का मतलब ही यही है. सरेंडर का मतलब ये नहीं कि सब कुछ छोड़ के चले जाओ मंदिर के अंदर या जंगल के अंदर. See, even Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he's not telling Arjuna, you run away to, the jungle. He's saying, you're a Kshatriya, you fight. Your duty is to fight. Don't get, crazy. You just fight. Don't be compassionate also. You just fight. So that's, where Krishna is saying. So this surrender, actually surrender पे तो एक पूरा lecture हो सकता है. Maybe we can schedule someday lecture on surrender, and we can have so many examples from the Shastras that who all surrendered and who all didn't surrender. Those who surrendered, what did they achieve? And those who did not surrender, then what did they lose? So, we can maybe discuss as such.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah.
Your Krishna Prasadam article also I'm trying to follow, but still अभी garlic and onion घर में है.
धीरे-धीरे, don't worry. Just take
But
your
morning hours,
baby steps.
I make sure कि lunch के लिए simple सात्विक रहे और भगवान को भोजन धराया जाए.
Perfect. That's the first move and very nice move. बहुत अच्छे.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You just put me a personal message on my WhatsApp now for surrender. मैं surrender का भी भेजती हूँ group पे.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, just put me a personal message. Hare Krishna, this is Sejal. And please post.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, devotees. Thank you very much. There's a next class that we have a reading class. So the class remains the same, but the subject changes from Bhagavad Gita to Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Wednesday, yeah, Hare Krishna. Next Wednesday, do not please miss out. Very, very important topic. Very, very important. How to surrender. Arjuna is going to surrender, and what is the right way to surrender? We'll just discuss on that. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you.